Welcome to the Parody, where we tally up the victims in our favorite media. I'm Chelsea Rose, and today we're finishing off Murder Drones with Episode 8, Absolute End. Now listen, I understand this episode is a little divisive. It's not necessarily a grand finale for this show. That would take an enormous amount of time, and I wouldn't be making this video right now. But the finale only ended up at 21 minutes. In fact, it's one of the shortest episodes of the series, with the only shorter ones being episodes 2, 3, and 5. However, it works at a benefit of the episode, with it basically just being the giant fight scene where everyone just somehow ends up in space. While the writing does have two significant faults, the entire grand spectacle of this episode makes up for that. Well, I got nothing else. Uzi and N, you better confirm my counts were correct. The episode begins with the letter H. On Copper 9, it sets the mood of the episode with 33 spiral corpses. That correlates to how many red dots I can count. In the car of some bastard skellies, her dashboard reactivates to become null, signifying that this show's about to be solved. Absolutely. Oh yeah, we also have this guy's hand coming out of the snow. I will also count 2 heads I can see behind these roaches. I can assume these are our bodies we never saw on the show. However, these two are Rebecca, the bifurcated girl from episode 4, and Brayden, serial burn victim who got decapitated in that same episode, so they're not being added either. The teacher, after giving Uzi an A, notices his entire class is floating. He couldn't care less. We're spiraled into the central black hole where the entire eldritch horror is hiding. Seeing all this happen from far away is Uzi, who's still chilling in space. She's quickly spinning farther away from her home before a rock from her mother saves her. Wait, but I counted her in episode 7. Well, I guess that means we can erase yet another kill from the count of him. Huh. Nori and Uzi have some nice things going on, like how Nori tells Uzi how she can basically destroy the Absolute Self by using vampire rules on Sin. Sin notices this parental advisory, so she promptly sends a ray of light their way, splitting them up before Uzi could get over to the caves. Uzi is saved by a spaceship / landing pod darting through the cosmos. Turns out, and finally has a license for these things. The first 3 minutes are a fantastic example of visual storytelling. You can still understand exactly what's happening, even when no one says a single line up till 2 minutes 48 seconds. Uzi's kind of pissed, but quickly reverts back to hugging mode. But in a friendly way, right? Right? Ant's kind of mad too, but that's for a never later, considering that he's playing REUPLOAD now. That minigame ends, and Uzi tells him my old episode 7 thumbnail before the ship runs out of power. But I also guess not chemistry, yay! Sin's here to tell them to stop this madness, and she combats their plans by destroying the spaceship. In a series of fantastic visuals, and an Uzi fly down towards Copper 9 like they're meteors flying down towards Earth. Fuck, this is cool! Look at that behind the scenes info. Kevin Timmer, lead glitch animator who I extensively looked at in episode 5, animated the beginning of the fall. Jacopo Potter animated the other 2/3 of the fall, and Austin Todd provided the sky. As for the fire effects, I couldn't find the source, but I had to be one of the visual effects artists. Before they start the main fight, they cement their friendship with each other, or at least that's what I think is happening, right? Right? Alright? Alright. Now it's time for this planet to suffer the consequences! On another planet, Jay's just chilling. And also, she started with Sin and the Solver. I guess dying right away and never reconnecting until episode 6 does that to someone. Other people flying through the unknown are my boy Con, Tyrone Tad, and lead lesbian Lizzie. For her current targets, but she's gonna have to be introduced to the magic of science before she can. Jay just fires a rocket to kill them. Out of freaking nowhere, a sentinel pops up, and someone auto returns the rocket to the sender. Who was it? Well, that might just be some random drone from the manor. There's no way that's— holy fucking shit! Face back! Face back! Fuck yeah! Her sentinel hits Kiyotaka voiced by a weirdo guy, after which it allows her to hold her own against the stuck-on-ice Jay. The awesome fight continues as we get a break from when Lizzie's texting V. That's when V's sentinel finds her and starts a chow down. Jay freaking explodes on the planet, which sends everyone off somewhere else. The sentinel starts a gas leak, but the continued fight scene floods into it. They spit out their beliefs about whatever's happened to them while they fight. It ends when Jay offers V a truce in exchange for working for Sin. V goes for it, but Jay cuts off half her leg. Before Jay can do anything else, V lets out an Uzi euphemism and does the same with Jay's arm. They get interrupted by Uzi and N flying down to deploy a beam through the entire planet. Jay and V start fighting again directly afterwards. They fly down more and land onto the top of Cabin Fever Labs. Wait, weren't their bodies down there? Are those also just flying through space now, or what? Whatever, Uzi and Ed have a cool landing. They don't have time for that though, since Sin slowly levitates up there to show them that she has absolute control. Since this is the finale, let's look at who did Sin for a brief moment. Sin was voiced by Alana Fitzgerald. They have 2 videos on their channel showcasing the raw and unedited lines they did for the character. There was post-production editing to make the voice seem more automated, but I was surprised how much their raw voice matches up with the final product.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
Also, fun fact, it seems that their partner is still streamer Jimmy here, who's best known for this vine.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
She drags his surroundings down into nothing and walks towards a single duo with a frightful purpose. That's further confirmed when she assimilates into a literal robotic crab. What is this, Splatoon? She almost solves back Uzi, but she's able to regain control. Too bad for Envo, as he gets whipped away by one of the claws. Uzi is left defenseless as Sin cuts off her arm and, oh fuck, takes out her core! As she has a temporary fatal error, I'll add this as Uzi's first ever in-show death. For the first death of Uzi, as always, it was collaborative. Jado Corey was responsible for the first half of it, like the strangulation and the bounce back of Sin's hand. The second half, as in her actual death, was a collaboration by Austin Todd and Joe Marshall. Ed comes back into the battle, and as he does, Uzi scrapes her insides back into her. Wow, this is kinda graphic. He has a short battle until Sin wraps one of her tentacles around his neck. She then, no joke, tears into him and eventually kills him for a 3rd time by tearing off his head. Uzi is not particularly impressed by her best friend being eviscerated, so she removes the floor beneath both of them. For this scene, animator Eliza Stevenson had to cheat the rigs multiple times to get the shots they needed. This included moving things away from the camera, such as heads, removing other parts, and my favorite, enlarging Ed for the shot where she initially scrapes against his chest. Awesome work, everybody. Also, so I can properly credit the animators and storyboarders for the work they did, I'll include every original source in the description. This will include stuff I couldn't access and talk about because I wrote this at high school. To get away from Sin, she slants a few more structures until there's a building contactless enough for her and Ed to enter. Meanwhile, the fight between Jay and V continue outside. Uzi and Ed make it into the building, but Sin just rushes after them. They're gone by the time we cut back, though. She is able to search for him by using her callback powers and a whole fuck ton of hands. This scene is the most disturbing of the episode, which is due to the combination of both Sin's 2,763 hands and the brief flashbacks and has the deaths I assume I already counted. For this scene, Austin Todd made hand loops that the animators could use to make the scene real. The hand seemed to stop, but to come back in the second when V also enters the building and starts calling for N. Uzi and N hesitate because she thinks it's a trap. But I don't think they would know that, since, after all, N faced the V imposter last episode. However, V's actually the one being trapped, as Sin has an N imposter for her instead. Everything seems to stop again, but that's actually just the cooldown for this kill! N's dead again, his core ripped straight out. Sin drags out his body to showcase the V. I don't think she likes— oh, now she's running out. See, Sin? There's a giant issue here now. The only person left untouched after that is Uzi. While she cools down, V is left to wallow in Sin's despair. Just normal things like, you know, all this eating against gore. Jesus Christ, lady! Before she can, I think Uzi, as evidenced by the wings you can see, stops her at the last second and the core lands back in the end.
God fucked it.
Then it's Deus Ex Machina. The goat is back! Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a weirder voice. Although, I'll be honest, I do like how I could hear a tiny bit of Taka there. He throws his railgun towards her, but you idiot, she's not even out there yet. Oh, now she's extra screwed when Sin drags the building down into the earth. With Uzi seemingly dead, Sin's last target is V now. For real. A target is hit off screen, but it's actually Sin who suffers the hit, as Uzi used, hope I fucking guess, to come back and save them.
No one traumatizes these weirdly hot robots but me!
Yeah, one question. How did she even regain that hope? When and how was she getting that back? It's only been a minute since we last saw all that happen. I feel as if that's a massive oversight. This Alex self-help moment would have been better if we saw, I don't know, like one scene where we could get a lead-up or an explanation for this. So here's the general idea. Uzi could still just be in the building, and her mother comes back down to give her that, or something. That would have probably filled half a hole, and this part is a slight tick for me and a bigger one for a few others to the episode. But hey, you're about to see what this episode still kind of rips regardless of that flaw. Well, at least Uzi knows V isn't dead now. Yay! Sin is bored, but back off. Uzi's in full control of the solver. She whips out a true statement.
I think dumb things are frickin' cool, and I am
and in an awesome angle expression, expresses that freedom. And of course, pushing the expressions again was Kevin Tammer. Now since we're addicted with 7 minutes left, we have to have one final fight. The running dormant family trait of Nightcore comes back as the original song Bite Me starts playing on a soundtrack. It was composed by another all-star of the series, AJ Despirito, and sang by Seferania. I hope I pronounced that last name right. The more than 2-minute fight begins when both Uzi and Sin run at each other and throw their no holes towards each other, both swirling and going back at Sin to put more life-threatening holes in the ground. Sin and Jay just stand there until Jay sees a railgun blast fire towards her. Oh, and she just get conked by the railgun, lol. The song really kicks in and Uzi and Sin have a sword versus pickaxe fight! What? You know, this was not on the bingo card for the show last year. Sin whips out her claws again, but it quickly backfires when both sword and pickaxe retaliate. Oh, and Uzi's foot does the same. She ragdolls so far away and throws the sword somewhat accidentally through Jay's head, with Uzi home runs towards Sin. She teleports around her until she lands a pick at the... And? What? Or no, that's just a hologram. Well, that's it. The titular drones enter the fight and confirm that Uzi did strike Sin. With the three main characters finally together again, they go on a sick full offense. V begins by firing rockets at Sin that she avoids. Then N kicks one back towards her, and when she dodges that, takes off her head, which she swiftly puts back on. As with everything, there was mass collaboration. But unlike with other scenes, which had up to 3 animators collaborate on the same shot, every animator had something to do here. Firstly, Kevin Tammer animated the part where Uzi becomes a Wii Sports Pro, as well as the Magic Sapini Ragdoll. Austin Todd joined in for the pickaxe versus sword doll and the symbolism. He also did the V rocket / N kick / Sin header. He also did the part directly after that when N and V fire everything they had at Sin. It's unreal that this is his first time animating action scenes, and for that he had to cheat both the camera and the rigs. He also provided the foam poses earlier. Acrylic animation animated the first 30 seconds, such as the railgun blasting hit, the double nulls, and the song starting, as well as some of the ending stages. Eliza Stevenson also provided some of the fight beginning, and also when the other drones joined the fight. Jacopo Poto animated the part in the fight where V eye poses stop and attack. There's also another prevention he did, Uzi stopping V from death. He did get to do a part of 1 death though. The only animator that didn't get a part of the fight was Jado Corey, although that's because he got hired pretty late into production, so most of the fight material is already done. I have no doubt he helped a bit there, but he was the guy who gave us Bald Sin. Overall, masterful work. I love highlighting the process that goes into making these shows possible. Like I said, VNN wastes their entire supply of ammunition. Sin jump scares them with some good boys and impales them through the chest. He seems unfazed by it because Uzi comes in to slice off her head again. Although that gets stopped when Uzi gets held onto by Sin and her claw hand. However, those plans are also prevented when V comes in to goofily stop her. You know, V, you can step on me too. She then slingshots her back to the ice, and they continue fighting in the background while Uzi and N do their secret handshake or whatever. V is almost again killed by Sin before Uzi delivers an uppercut and a kick directly over the N. They do their secret handshake again before Sin gets N and V out of the picture. With that, Uzi and Sin are the ones in the duel. But out of nowhere again, Sin teleports right where Uzi is holding her hand, and it directly goes over to Sin's core. She rips that thing out with the power of the solver, and a melted core makes the world turn black and white, silent and null. What to give James A. Janice extremely low viewership. The most intense part comes when Uzi and Sin are battling for the one thing I guess controls the world. Just so Sin can't destroy her world, she just gulps that shit. No, Uzi, don't hold it in, it only makes it worse. Her surroundings go back to normal after that, and since we see Sin's body just melt away, I can add our final threat to the count. However, Uzi also isn't normal. Because she ate the nullness, she passes out. When she wakes up, we do see a fatal error on her screen, but I think there's more of a chance that she's just passed out, so I won't add it to the count again. She wakes up on a new Copper 9 where Faz is skating pro now, Lizzie's now without her phone, and where Khan almost falls off but saved at the last minute by Nori, who scurries away directly afterwards.
Kinda hot?
Well, since the teacher made it. That guy's head was so big, Eliza Stevenson actually had to move it a bunch just to get the shot to work. A bus comes out of the hole and a sentinel's on board, much to the dismay of Lizzie. Finally, N and V emerge from the bus and soon find Uzi. Uzi and N embrace, but just still as best friends, right? Right? V still wants some blood, but that's so we can see Uzi's new eye colors, mix of what the murders and herself had. With all that set aside, we can go back to where we began this show, the classroom, last seen all the way back in episode 2. Now, she knows that Colin was maybe right about the outside, but doesn't matter though since she ended racism.
That's my girlfriend!
Yeah, and I know Uzi's a girl, not like I figured it out after 10 seconds of the pilot. V is holding a severed head, and I'll add it to our list, since it's most likely new. Dulls is chilling. She's dead. MD. Murder drones. MD. After Uzi causes a panic to blow up her entire classroom, the series ends with another original song during the credits. And we also get the spiral again, but here's the deal. I've counted all the spiral corpses I need to, so no more spirals will spiral me into insanity anymore. We see that Jay is the only occupant of the spiral dome, and that the disassembly drones are officially part of worker civilization. During the credits, I could add a final 5 to the list. 1 during this shot of Uzi and Nen, 2 more during this shot, 1 on the TV and another guy down there, and on 1001 we never saw in episode 3, and finally this arm in the upper left. There's also a memorial for Doll, then back at the deserted camp, an action setup, and a few freaky things. A post-credits scene reveals that Uzi is now the host of the Solver. Bye-bye, murder drones. Did this series finale build up to be the carnival of carnage we were wishing for? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
I need to tell you that N and Uzi are actually dating now.
I'm gonna kill myself. I counted 46 kills in the series finale absolute end. The victims consisted of 5 males, 3 females, and 38 unknowns, most of which, as almost always, are spiral drones. That means we close out the series on the usual pie chart we have for the show. With the episode running 21 minutes long, Murder Drones Episode 8 had a kill on average every 27.39 seconds. And since we're at the end of the series, we're gonna see the total kill count for the entire series at large. So, for the series total, Murder Drones in its entirety had 989 kills. Those kills will have 98 men, 51 women, and 840 unknown kills that litter my screen with corpses. That means this is the average pie chart, and wouldn't you know it, it's just great. Also, comparing the episodes to each other, Episode 7 is the most deadly, while Episode 4 has the least kills of the entire series. With the series lasting 8 episodes, each episode had an average of 123.63 kills. Although that is kind of cheating with all the spirals I sifted through. However, the series had a built-up runtime of 172 minutes, which ultimately leaves us with a kill on average every 10.43 seconds. I'll give Amethyst flamethrower to Sin. She's basically our big bad, and us meters really love to see something melt. Broken pistol spiral drones. Yeah, and that's it. Murder Drones lasted from 2021 to 2024. This finale was released August 23rd, when let's just say I was preoccupied with rizzing up regular camps. With Murder Drones ending, there will still be a few more things I want to do with the IP, so fingers crossed for a few more shoulder adventures. Until then, I'm Chelsea Rose, and this has been The Parody. Thanks a lot for watching this parody. Honestly, this show throughout the past 20 months has been a blast to go through, so thank you to Glitch and Liam Vickers for making the show happen in the first place. Sorry I waited 6 months for this to happen, but I hope it was worth it. Next up, I got some bigger episodes planned, as obvious by the big media plan I have for 2025. Also, I will be going through another series episode by episode, although it is one I don't like as much. Can't wait to get death threats for those! Thanks for droning!
Also, I have this thing now, and she is peak and awesome and silly. Yay, 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 yay!